All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to episode 170 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and today I'm joined by Jay to the Max. Hey, Jay.
Hello, everyone. Hope you all haven't gotten enough of my voice yet because I'm back again.
We're glad to have you back again. Um, we are expecting Didi Jonay to make a run-in later in the episode, so please stay tuned for that. Just want to remind everyone the WrassleCast is brought to you by CSPN. You can find us at www.cspn.us. You can also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. You can also follow us on Twitter at WrassleCast. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Delarente, and you can follow Jade on Twitter at Jade2, the Max. So, Jade, as we do every week here on the WrassleCast, we have a little bit of news to start out the show with. First and foremost,
Just a little bit.
Just a little. We have some good news concerning Rich Homie Swann. This week, Rich Homie Swann's charges of battery and involuntary imprisonment were dropped. So hopefully that means that his indefinite suspension will be terminated and he will be brought back to the company just in time to be a part of the cruiserweight tournament to crown the new champion. So these new revelations.
That cruiserweight division's got a lot going on.
Yeah, they do. So some good news for Rich Swann on the legal front, and we'll see if this, how long it takes for him to come back into the fold. Speaking
good for him.
Yes, very good for him. Speaking of 205 Live, they got a brand new commissioner, general manager per se, and none other than a Rockstar Spud is now a part of 205 Live. He is going by the name of Drake Maverick. He was announced by Daniel Bryan at the beginning of last night's episode. So 205 Live now has a GM. And like I said, they're having a 16-man tournament to determine a new champion. And the champion will be crowned at WrestleMania. Last but not least, we have the new incarnation of Impact starting up this week as Don Callis and Scott D'Amore's version of Impact rolls out for display this Thursday. So be interesting to see how they approach Impact. You know, they don't have EC3, they don't have Bobby Lashley, no Rockstar Spud, so no Hardys, no.
Do they have anybody in their locker room?
Not really, because also news was that Jeremy Borash, longtime Mr. Do Everything of TNA, got hired by WWE. So, as everybody knows, Jeremy Borash was the mastermind behind the broken Matt Hardy stuff and just to do everything at TNA. So now he's a member of WWE. So, this is really a new era for Impact, and we'll see what it looks like starting this Thursday.
Why do they have so many issues? There's always something with TNA. They just can't get right.
Right. Because they tried to compete with WWE and be WWE instead of just be something different. And Dixie didn't know what she was doing. And so she let a lot of people just spend a lot of money, and then they got in a hole. So, but I mean, hey, they're going to be around and Spike TV isn't. So, I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, so where are they going to broadcast, or who's going to?
Well, I mean, they're on Pop TV now, but I'm just saying that Spike TV, the original place that, they kind of both brought each other recognition, they outlasted Spike TV. And if you would have told somebody that 3 years ago, they would have laughed at you. So.
Well.
So good luck to.
Hopefully they'll finally get it together, find their identity.
Right. At this point, we want to welcome in our SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonay. Hi, friend.
Hey,
She's
friends.
here. Hey,
Yeah, man. I
Dee.
had to slide in, I was hanging under the ring.
No, your
Oh,
entrance
Lord.
music just popped, and we both stopped what we were doing, turned and looked. There
Is
you
it
go.
twin magic happening? Is that what it is?
Something like that, yes.
So, how are you?
I'm well. What happened was, and I'll tell you because we're a family, I succumbed to peer pressure, you know,
Mm.
and I was asked if I wanted to go out to drink, and I was like, yeah, sure. Gotta record tonight though, so one drink. Sure. So one drink turned into two drinks, two apps. One of the apps was cold. So then he was like, oh, I'll just reorder it. Here's another drink for your trouble. And that's why I'm like, so yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah,
like free drinks and fresh appetizer.
exactly. And it still wasn't all that hot. But, beggars can't be choosers at that point. I didn't even order the chicken. I'm just black, so I ate it when it came. So, what do you do?
How
Well,
did
I'm
I
glad.
know your tardiness had something to do with alcoholic beverages?
I mean, why else would I be late? Honestly, truly.
I mean, well, I told Don, I'm like, well, it's not Thursday, so there are no Mona shows on right
No,
now.
it wasn't the TV because if it's the TV, I'll watch and I'll just put it on mute. Speaking of, I lost one of my remotes, so I don't even know how to turn my TV on. Like it's just been a trial these last 24 hours.
I'll
But
pray for you.
I mean, really it's just a sign from Jesus. I really need to clean up my living room because this is ridiculous. I almost died a couple times tripping over things that really have no business in my living room at all, but that's neither here nor there. What matters is I'm here to talk about the wrestling, and I haven't missed much, so I'm very happy about that.
No,
Yes.
you have not.
That's cool.
So we'll talk about the wrestling by starting with Takeover Philly
I
NXT.
watched.
Yes,
I did. I was there.
it was fun. Thanks to everybody who came out to hashtag Cast Takeover on Saturday night. As once again, NXT started off the big weekend for Royal Rumble with their takeover show hailing from Philadelphia. So we get the Paul Heyman opening, which was really good. Rallying the troops and basically welcome doing the Triple H. This is NXT type welcome. So our first match is the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team titles. Kyle O'Reilly is attacking Akam's leg with kicks. Akam fires up and hits an exploder and follows with knee strikes and takes out Bobby Fish. Akam buckle bombs Kyle O'Reilly and then he lays in more strikes as Razor takes out Bobby Fish. The Authors of Pain hit the Super Collider. Then O'Reilly, Hurricane Runners, Akam enter Razor and O'Reilly rolls up Akam for the win, and the Undisputed Era retain the Tag Team Championships. So, Miss Jonay, what you think about this opening match?
I mean, I wasn't all that impressed. I wasn't focused. I don't know those people.
Yeah, you were still settling in.
Yeah, like they caught me. I didn't get my wind up. I was just like, these aren't ethnics. Next,
Well, the Authors of Pain are like, I don't know, they're Samoans. I think they're like Albanians or something. So they're kind of
Albanians are white people. They're spicy white, but they're still white.
okay.
Spicy white.
Speaking of white people, I actually had a discussion at the bar, and they told me, people who are not into wrestling, I showed them a picture of Dusty Rhodes, and they were like, "Nah, he looks like a white guy," and I was like, "How dare you?"
Dee Dee, you
Like,
should do like a ancestry.com on Dusty Rhodes.
I would love to. Like, all I want is for Dustin and Cody to let me take their saliva. Like, let's find out the truth. And they were like, he looks Italian. He never said he was Italian. He looks Jewish. He never said he was Jewish. Oh, he looks white. Listen, like I'm so invested in this that it like bothers me that people don't agree with me. But I feel like I'm right. I feel it in my spirit.
All right. Jay, did you get a chance to see this?
Takeover? No, I was actually just getting back in town. My flight landed, I still haven't gotten around to watching it. But now that I know the authors of Pain were on there, I will make it a point to watch it.
All right. So then we get a crowd shot of War Machine, the new assignees to NXT. They're in the crowd, debuting as always. They always do that for the new people who come into NXT. So then we got the match that I wanted Dee Dee to show up for the most. If she didn't see anything else, this is what I wanted her to see. Was the Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. Now, if you saw the pre-show, which I know Dee Dee did not.
No, I did not.
There's a Velveteen Dream interview because Cassius Ohno is known for knocking people out. It's his thing, KO is his initials or whatever. So, and he said that he was going to knock Cassius Ohno out in 30 seconds. Just kind of threw it into his promo and then went on and did the rest of his promo. So he's promised a 30-second win tonight. So he's wearing these like boxing shorts, and then he comes down to the ring with all this swag, and then he stops, and he has like these two people with like his entourage, and they've got like a mouthpiece on this big old pillow. He stops, and they put the mouthpiece in. So the crowd starts like counting down, and then all of a sudden they like go back into the corner, and then all of a sudden Velveteen Dream just hits Ohno with this big right hand and knocks him down. And like he thinks he's knocked him out, and he starts celebrating or whatever. And of course, what does he do? What does he do, Dee? That you should never do.
Turn your back.
Right. And when he does turn his back, Cassius Ohno hits him with a big elbow, and he knocks out the mouthpiece, kicks Velveteen Dream to the floor. So the ending sequence comes when the Velveteen Dream hits the rolling Death Valley Driver. He heads up to the top rope, and he does the purple Rainmaker off the ring post, not even the turnbuckle, but off the ring post. That connects, and Velveteen Dream gets the win. So, Dee Dee.
Yes.
What did you think of the spectacle that is the Velveteen Dream?
I love everything about him.
I told you would.
You are absolutely right the entire time. I saw him in his confection of a natural hair coif, and I was like, what is that? I love that. I saw the glasses. I said, what is that? I love that. I looked at his skin. His skin looked good. I was like, I love that. His outfit, I was like, that is garish and eccentric, and I love that. The way he held the microphone, too good to just hold it in his hand like normal people do. No, he clasps it like one would a delicate piece of, I don't know, crystal. Just daintily holding the edges of the top and bottom. I was like, I love everything about this man. And then he managed to win the match, which, of course, what? A winner too? Yes. Loved it.
You guys don't understand how big of a smile I had on my face watching the whole WrassleCast timeline live tweet finally get on board with Velveteen Dream, like all the way. Because I remember when he first came out, everybody was like, "Ooh, I don't like it. I don't know what it is. It's androgynous. It's like he's making a parody of a gay person." It's like, no, whoa, slow down. It's like, just give it a little time. It's just starting, but it's great. Everything about it is great, and I think that this takeover was the culmination where everybody finally saw just how great it was. So that was a very good match, very good showcase for the Velveteen Dream. So then we see Johnny Gargano in the back with his family in the locker room getting prepared for his championship match later on tonight. Then we have Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Shayna Baszler cuts off Ember with knee strikes and then stomps on her elbow, a la what she did to Dakota Kai a few weeks back. Ember hits a forearm, and then she heads up top, and she hits the Eclipse, but she can't cover Shayna due to her bad arm. The ref calls for the trainers, and they arrive to check on Ember while Shayna is still down. Shayna then gets up, locks on an armbar, and Ember fights and makes the ropes. Shayna attacks with another armbar, and Ember again fights, rolls, and tries to escape. But Baszler rolls with her and keeps on the hold. Baszler lays back and really pulls on the armbar. Ember rolls but fails to escape. Ember then stacks up Shayna Baszler, who won't let go, and Ember picks up the pin to retain the title. Post-match, Shayna Baszler attacks Ember and chokes her out on the ramp. If you were in the live tweet, Didi Dejournay definitely was very vocal and outspoken during this match.
I had feeling.
Yes, you did. This was a very good match.
Mm-hmm.
Even if even for your lack of the MMA girl, the way that this played out, the ending was fantastic. Ember struggling, fighting, just not giving up, even though she's like, the whole key to the arm bar is to get your arm extended. So Ember's like grabbing at her finger. She was literally scratching at Shayna Baszler, trying to keep her from extending her arm. That was really good. And then she keeps rolling, and then finally rolls her into a pending predicament. And like you said, Didi, because she was not a wrestler, she got duped, and Ember retained the title. So that was a really good match. I like that.
It wasn't time for Shayna to win anyway. She hasn't paid her dues yet.
Right.
Yeah, somebody was in my mentions trying to tell me, oh, it's okay because, she's a fighter. She's like Brock or she's like Braun. And I'm like, no. It's different. And I'm trying to figure out why it's so different for me. But it's like, if I want to watch MMA, I'm going to watch MMA. So if you're going to come into the WWE, fully understand you got to use what you know. But I need to see that you know how to wrestle at some point in a match.
Does it remain to be seen for Shayna Baszler?
I'm like, I can't tell. Like, all I see is you putting on MMA moves and kicking people in the elbow, which, sure, dirty tactics. I'm a fan, but did you learn anything besides how to take a bump? No? No, that's why you lost, fucker. I don't know. I hate her. I'm sorry. I can't be unbiased about it. She bothers me.
Same. Not feeling her.
She's definitely the new top heel in the women's division. And since she's evoking those feelings from you ladies, she's on her way to doing a pretty good job, right? Jay, this part of the show would be of interest to you as they show King Ricochet in the crowd.
Hey.
Yeah, he was looking very fly in his burgundy suit there. So can't
wait. I had to tell FNA to raise up off of him. She was tweeting about him. I had to check her. But
check whomst?
FNA. She was on the ladies' night broadcast, the ladies' night WrassleCast with us.
I stopped listening. I thought you were trying to check me about your friend and the
about maroon. Which one?
Ban the maroon suit.
Oh yeah,
You didn't watch.
I didn't, but I saw you tweet about him, and I was like, "Hold up, Didi." Both of y'all had to get y'all together.
We can share different time zones. It's like a whole different relationship.
No, I don't want to share.
So selfish.
I'm an only child.
Well, I'm the youngest. If I can share, so can you.
You didn't have a choice.
Whatever.
So our next match was Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. Cole sets up chairs, but Aleister Black hits the AA onto the tops of the chairs, and Adam Cole needed a backotomy. Aleister Black hits a running knee, sending the chair in Cole's face, but then the Undisputed Era, O'Reilly and Fish arrive to make the save. Sandy then comes down, continuing their issues with O'Reilly and Fish. Big Killian Dane is in the ring and hit the big boy suicide dive onto the pile on the outside. Adam Cole is on the floor, and Aleister Black fights him off, and he hits a Meteora onto Cole, putting Cole through the announce table. Aleister Black rolls Cole back in, but Cole manages to hit him with a super kick. Adam Cole grabs a chair. Aleister Black hits the Black Mass and picks up the win in a really great match.
It was amazing. How did Adam Cole not die?
I don't know how he continued to walk after that chair spot.
Oh my God. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Maybe I've just missed it, but like, how do you compensate for something? Who suggests that? And you're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. What?
Yeah, this was a really good match. Like it kind of like ramped up, like starting with the Velveteen Dream match. That match was like really good. Then like the Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler match was a little bit better than that. Then this match was like significantly better than that. And it's like, whew, that main event, that's gonna be tough to follow this, because I mean they did some of everything in this match. So shout out to Aleister Black, shout out to Adam Cole. We get another.
I didn't even watch Takeover, and it sounds like he was better than the Royal Rumble.
But. It was. I love Aleister Black. Beards, tattoos, accents. What's not to love? Yeah, and Adam Cole really does look like Shawn Michaels' baby. And we did the math. Me and What Sleep Though did the math. It's possible.
Okay.
Just, FYI.
He was born in Panama City, Florida, so there's definitely a chance that Shawn Michaels could have done some things down there.
He'd have been about 24, before he rededicated his life to Christ. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
So we see EC3 in the crowd, and he is also one of the newest NXT signings. So, he's just becoming NXT Impact.
Yeah, clearly. Impact has
they deserve, though. Who wants to fight in a 6-sided ring? Nobody. They deserve an upgrade.
Well, in the new reincarnation of Impact, they have taken away the 6-sided ring. They've gone
wonderful.
To the regular ring. So, Dee, like I said at the beginning of the show, starting actually tomorrow, which will be Thursday as we record this, the new version of Impact is coming out.
From Canada, right?
Right.
From Canada.
Right. So maybe
I'll watch.
Yeah, maybe we can next
week. Wait.
Small Impact report.
Yeah, I'll watch an hour though. Yeah, I'll watch 9 o'clock.
So our main event of the evening, Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. Johnny Gargano fights off the hammerlock DDT and sends Almas onto the floor and hits a suicide dive. Zelina Vega hits the Hurricane Rana, sending Gargano into the steps. They get back in. Cien Almas hits the hammerlock DDT, but Johnny Wrestling kicks out. Gargano rolls to the floor, and Candice LeRae takes out Zelina Vega. The ladies brawl to the back, and Gargano gets back to the apron, hits an enziguri and the slingshot DDT, but this time Cien Almas kicks out. And Johnny locks in and Gargano escape. Cien Almas fights, and he makes the ropes. They work to the apron, but Almas post Gargano. Almas hits the running knees against the post. The ref checks on Gargano, but Almas pulls Gargano back up, gives Gargano the draping hammerlock DDT, and Cien Almas retains the NXT title.
Hey!
A lot of people are calling this the best match they've ever seen in WWE.
Really?
So now I gotta go watch it.
Really?
Do you agree?
It's high quality. It's one of the best matches in the recent 2 or 3 years of WWE for sure. It's definitely one of the best matches of NXT.
Okay.
Oh,
would
this
you say it was
NXT
better than
brand?
Would you say it was better than Bayley Sasha?
No, it's probably right behind Bayley and Sasha, Trevor Bate and Pete Dunne from Takeover 2017 in Chicago, and then this match. It's probably yeah. Yeah. This match is really good. And what makes this match really good is like, okay, we just saw that hardcore, Philadelphia street fight match, whatever, Extreme Rules match. So they got everything out there, tables, chairs, kendo sticks, all the plunder that they're doing. And everybody's just on their feet going crazy, right? And it's like, where's the crowd going to get energy from? You know what I'm saying? Usually if this was a regular main roster show, it would be like a filler match in between like these two matches, right? So to have the main event come on right after this match, at first I was like, where is the crowd going to have? Are they going to even have anything to give these guys? Because they just saw everything. But they started really slow. They did like a lot of chain wrestling and they kind of built it. And then, you know what I'm saying? It kind of had levels to it. And then at the end, they had everybody into it, especially once Candice LeRae and Zelina Vega started getting into it. Then it just was like, okay, now we got them. And they just took off from there. This was a great match.
I agree it was a great match. I was thrown by like best match ever.
Oh, you would be surprised at how many people are very high on this match. But okay, so afterwards, of course, Zelina Vega and St. Almas, they walk out, they leave, and then Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, they're walking out. They're, the crowd is, giving them standing ovation. Johnny just can't believe they came up short again. His best opportunity ever to, become a champion. They're kind of looking back at the ring. Looks like it's going to go off. And then here comes Tommaso Ciampa, crushed to the back of Johnny Gargano, lays Johnny Gargano out, and he's back. The Psycho Killer.
Johnny just can't catch a break.
No, he can't. Tommaso Ciampa back on the scene.
Looking like a whole snack. Girl, he got salt and pepper in his beard. I don't know if he had it before.
Who is this guy?
Ciampa.
Gargano's old partner, DIY.
Yeah. Gorgeous blue eyes, bald headed, so we don't have to worry about a suspect hairline. Full beard, salt and pepper. Yes.
He's a silver fox.
Yeah, girl. Yes. He looked like he could be Cesaro's like rough and tumble cousin. He is so handsome, girl.
Oh, he is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest storyline of NXT that should have been in 2017 looks like it's going to be the biggest storyline heading in, or the very first storyline heading into 2018. So we'll see how this progresses.
NXT's doing a darn good job. Well, Triple H is doing a darn good job.
Oh yeah, they went through a little lull there, kind of in the spring going into the summer, where it was kind of like, there's nobody in NXT. All our people got moved up. They all moved away. Blah 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 blah. But now that's definitely over with. This thing is going to be really good, especially once they start integrating Ricochet and War Machine and all these new signees. So looking forward to it. So now we'll go into the Royal Rumble as we go to the hashtag Say No to Pre-Shows, as we had Kalisto, Lindsay Dorado, and Grand Metalik versus TJP, DD, what's your gimmick?
I'm a grown-ass woman.
Yeah. Jack Gallagher and Drew Gulak. Grand Metalik heads up top, and he does the rope walk elbow drop, and he gets a 2 count, but Gulak makes the save. Kalisto tags in. Lindsay Dorado hits the lethal injection. Grand Metalik hits a dive. Kalisto then hits the Salida del Sol and pins TJ Perkins. So good for the trios team there of the High Flyers, the Luchadoras. Grand Metalik is the man. He's probably the very best high flyer of all the cruiserweights, but he can't really speak English, so they can't showcase him enough. But if they really wanted 205 to pop, that would be the one that they would like put the title on, because his wrestling is fantastic. So next we had the Good Brothers versus the Revival. The Magic Killer is cut off, but Anderson hits a spine buster for a 2 count. Gallows gets dumped to the floor, and then he gets ran into the post. Dash Wilder chop blocks Anderson's knee, and they pick up the win with the roll-up. So the Revival recover from getting everybody's finisher on Monday Night Raw to beat the Good Brothers on the Royal Rumble pre-show.
The Good Brothers don't deserve this treatment. They deserve better. WWE doesn't use them right.
No, they haven't been using them right for quite a while. Last match on the pre-show was Bobby Roode issuing an U.S. title open challenge. Who comes down to open the challenge? None other than Mojo Rawley.
Spicy White.
Mojo counters the Glorious DDT and then runs Bobby Roode into the post. Mojo goes for his KO shot, but that gets countered. Roode hits the Glorious DDT, and Bobby Roode is victorious and retains the United States Championship.
Not only is he victorious, he is glorious.
Okay. Now, what I don't understand about this is the way that it's set up when they say Bobby Roode is going to have a U.S. title open challenge match or whatever. You think that might actually be somebody new.
No.
Or somebody from NXT or something, like a call up or something, but they just give you Mojo Rawley. So why didn't they just have the finals of the United States tournament right here like they were supposed to when it was booked in the beginning? I think people would have had more.
Man is senile, and he forgot that Mojo Rawley was in the tournament.
Yeah, so
he just figured, hey, Mojo, you're available. Go out there and wrestle Bobby Roode. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, so that didn't make any sense to me, but good for Mojo. He gets a pay-per-view payoff. So now we move into Royal Rumble proper, as we start off with AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a WWE Championship handicap match. AJ Styles takes out Kevin, and then hits the springboard forearm to Sami Zayn, but Kevin makes the save. Sami and Styles trade shots in the center of the ring. Then AJ cuts off the tag, and he dumps Sami on the outside. AJ rolls up Kevin out of the pop-up powerbomb for the win. Kevin and Sami complain to Shane about the ref screwing them, but Shane says he doesn't care. And the referee, basically the referee's decision is final. So, thoughts, questions, concerns?
I missed that match because for some reason, I don't know what I was doing, but I missed it. But why was it at the beginning though? Weird.
Because they had a whole 2-hour matches that they had to squeeze in. So
they should have put that tag team championship match with Seth Rollins at the beginning. I mean, it wasn't his fault that it was boring, but that should have went first.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. So we did get a tag team match. Next, it was Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus the Usos. 2 out of 3 falls for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos super kick, and then they do their super kick and splash combo, and that connects on Gable, and Gable kicks out. The Usos head up top again, but Benjamin cuts off one of the Usos, and Jay hits him with the super kick. Gable works a hanging armbar on the ropes, but the Usos counter the Chaos Theory. They lay in the super kick party and pick up the first fall on Chad Gable at 12 minutes and 10 seconds into the match. So, they worked the first fall for a long time, had a bunch of near falls. People, usually these matches kind of work in a formula of quick first fall, quick second fall, and then they have a long third fall. But this first fall was rather long. So Shelton Benjamin is in, and he posts one of the Usos and then attacks the other Uso on the floor. Gable and Benjamin hit the Doomsday Powerbomb off the apron to the floor, and then Gable hits the rolling capo kick to one of the Usos, but Jay gets a surprise roll up on Chad Gable, and the Usos win 2 straight falls to retain the tag team championship. championships.
Which never happens.
Yeah, that match was very rushed, but I get why it was rushed.
Right. So looks like grand opening, grand closing for American Alpha 2.0 as the Usos vanquished the 2 falls straight. So next we move into the 30-man Royal Rumble match.
Bring it.
We have Jerry Lawler out for commentary, and the first 2 wrestlers in the Royal Rumble are Rusev and Finn Balor. Now, when Aiden English came out to announce Rusev was first, that place was going crazy.
It was Rusev Day.
Yes,
every day is Rusev Day.
It's Rusev Day. Now, I'm not going to go, even though I do have the 1 through 30 list here. We pressed for time here. Dee has time limits.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. If you want to know, just check the WrassleCast.
Yeah.
Hashtag I got them all.
So
it's maybe Apollo Creed or something. I got them all. So
Cruz, Dee, Apollo Crews.
What did I say?
Apollo Creed is dead.
That's what it should be. Everybody knows that's what he meant. Fuck it. Whatever. We all know what he meant. He just couldn't get it cleared. And if you want to know the order, go ahead and check the WrassleCast hashtag on Twitter.
So Rhino was in at number 3 for the Philadelphia ECW crowd. He actually gets eliminated by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin then gets eliminated by Finn, but he takes out everybody, including Heath Slater, who's number 5, and he gets beat down. One of the first surprises was number 7, as Cien Almas from the NXT champion was in the Royal Rumble and actually had a pretty good account of himself. Number 10 for the second year in a row is Ty Dillinger, and he doesn't come out.
So he thought he was number 10.
And then we go to the back and we see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn kicking his ass backstage, and Sami says that he's going to take his place, and Sami runs out to be number 10.
The yup movement.
Okay, so we picked as our who you got. We all picked a number, so that would be like our special person for our bonus points. So DJ Wally Sparks' number was 4, so he got Baron Corbin. So he got the short end of that one. I picked number 15, so my entrant was Cesaro. And Miss Didi Jonay picked number 24. And the Lord has jokes because she got none other than her fave. All lives matter, Randy Orton.
So disrespectful. So nasty. So rude.
My highlight of that, like you mentioned, Heath Slater. Poor Heath. I mean, just couldn't even get in the ring. Got beat up by everybody on the way out, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, Sheamus comes in at 11, and on his way, like everybody that's been coming in has been kind of like kicking Heath Slater, just keeping him on the outside of the ring. Well, when Sheamus gets in, he actually tosses Heath into the ring, and then when Sheamus gets in the ring, he tosses him right back out. So
on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Sheamus.
So rude.
That was funny. Jinder Mahal out here trying to eliminate all of the New Day. That was disrespectful. The Kofi Kingston spot,
iconic spot.
They saved them with the tray of pancakes. So that was cool.
Those are real friends.
Yes.
Everybody's favorite John Cena came in at number 20. And everybody, it was funny. He slides in the ring and everybody starts putting the boots to him. It's like they jumped him into the Royal Rumble. So that was
wonderful. My computer was down, so I couldn't quite comment how I wanted to, but I was like, fuck yes. Get him.
Number 21 was the Hurricane, Shane Helms. So that was a good surprise. Number 23, Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, he was all bandaged up and things like that. So, but yeah, he was in the Royal Rumble as well. And probably the ultimate surprise, number 27, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah, that was great. I think
Rey
that was my
Mysterio
favorite.
Jr.
He lost weight from when he
Yeah,
was in the temple. Was
yes,
looking like a young man again.
yes.
He's looking like a
I
snack,
don't.
Didi.
Well, I know what he looks like under the mask, so no. But still, he looked
He,
good.
he looked like WCW Rey Mysterio Jr.
Mm.
Like lean, no knee braces, like ripped. Yeah, he looked really good. Actually, his him coming into the Royal Rumble was like the most seen clip on WWE.com the day after, like 6 million views. So
Mm.
Roman was number 28. Number
Hey.
29 was Goldust, and number 30, Dolph Ziggler.
I was
Yeah,
excited.
that was so. I was like, what?
It
They
was
thought he
low key
quit.
anticlimactic,
It
but
was.
I didn't mind it. I was like, brown haired Dolph is back. Yay. I think I'm one of only like 15 people who cared though.
Yeah, you were.
That's fine.
Because when his music hit, I was like, wait, he's back? Why?
Because he never quit. He just
I
gave up
know,
the
but
title
still,
because you people don't deserve him as a champion. Damn it.
he
I sound like a fan, don't I?
you sound like a fangirl right now. Dolph Ziggler.
So
Listen, stand for
okay.
Ziggles.
Ziggles.
Our final four consisted of Roman Reigns, John
Mm-hmm.
Cena,
Meh.
Finn Balor, and
Yay.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
So John Cena tosses out Finn Balor after Finn Balor was in the Rumble for 57 minutes.
So disrespectful.
Nakamura then eliminates John Cena.
So needed.
Roman looks to eliminate Nakamura, but Nakamura counters. He hits a running kick and he eliminates Roman Reigns, and Shinsuke Nakamura is the winner of the 2018 Royal Rumble.
Yay.
Yay.
So they ask Shinsuke after the match in the in-ring promo, who does he wants to face? And he says that he wants to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
I can't wait. It's going to be a great match.
So I was shocked that Roman did not win. I
I'm sure
thought
his wife was too, because she likes to go off on social media when he doesn't win.
it's very ironic that somebody from the Blue brand won. So big ups to Didi Jonet.
Why is it ironic? Or is it more like obvious?
It wasn't obvious to me. I didn't see anybody from SmackDown winning.
How dare you?
It's
I
Vince
just thought
McMahon. You got to think like Vinnie Mac.
You have to think like we're better than you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really go hard with this brand like I'm on the payroll. Let me stop.
Did
well,
you
I
at
mean,
least watch SmackDown this week, Didi?
Um,
Yeah.
I watched part of it. I'll be tired when I get home.
so
Sleep.
they flash the back. We see Shane and Daniel Bryan. They're celebrating Nakamura's win. Kurt Angle and Stephanie are also back there. Angle says that Raw has plenty of still to offer tonight, including winning the Women's Royal Rumble. So now we get the match that Jay talked about earlier that came right after the Royal Rumble, which was Sheamus and Cesaro versus Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan Raw Tag Team Championship match. Cesaro runs Jason Jordan into the post. The trainers check on Jordan, and he's actually still alive, but he has like major concussion issues. Jason Jordan tags in, but he's still suffering from the effects of being ran into the post, and then he tags right back out. Seth Rollins hits the Snowmaker, but Sheamus tags in. He hits the Bro Kick, and then the bar finishes off Seth, and they regain the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan is a punk.
Jason Jordan is hurt. Can't do shit.
He's hurt in real life, you think?
Yes, he's hurt in real life. Can't do
What's
shit.
wrong with him?
I don't know what's wrong with him, but it's serious because he couldn't be in the Royal Rumble and he couldn't do anything physically in this match. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Poor little tink tink.
Okay, I take back what I said about him being a punk.
So, so we'll see kind of how this goes out for Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, because now like if he's hurt, they can't even do like the turn thing, where they can wrestle each other or something now. So we'll kind of see where this goes going forward with those two. Then we get our WWE Universal Championship match. We have Brock Lesnar versus Kane versus Braun Strowman. Brock F5 Strowman through an announce table. Brock then topples over another announce table on the Strowman. Kane attacks Brock, but Kane gets S5 onto an announce table. Strowman gets back up. He power slams Brock in the ring, but he doesn't make the cover. Braun hits another power slam when Kane comes from the side and takes out Braun with chair shots. Brock F5s Kane, and Brock retains, and he's still your WWE Universal
Champion.
So yeah, those two matches definitely, the crowd definitely were not into those two matches. They, the Royal Rumble was actually really good. So I think they like we said before at the NXT thing, they kind of had these two buffer matches to kind of get the crowd a chance to re-energize themselves after sitting through that hour-long Royal Rumble match. So then we got our main event of the evening.
Yes.
First ever 30 women Royal Rumble match. Maria Menounos comes down to be guest ring announcer.
The thing about Maria is she's essentially an adult Make-A-Wish kid. I'm serious. I think that's what it is. I think she was just like, I really love wrestling. And they're like, oh, she's got illnesses and things. Like, she's been through a lot. And I think they just don't want to tell her no.
She sounded a mess. And I'm like, why is she talking like that?
That's what she talk like.
Special.
But the WWE Universe does not fuck with her at all.
No. You know they don't like people.
Stephanie comes down to join the commentary team, and then Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are out at the announce table to watch the match. So the very first two entrants in the very first 30 women Royal Rumble match are none other than the Boss Babe, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch.
I just want to make note that I knew our fave wasn't going to win when she came out first. Because I was like, there's no way on earth they're going to take this historic moment and give you the bonus of being able to say she was number one and she won. Not on the inaugural match. So I knew she was going to lose.
Right.
But that's because I'm magic. Go on.
So all of a sudden we have this match and we kind of start off kind of slow as number 3 is Sarah Logan,
who nobody cares about.
Number 4 was Mandy Rose,
who also nobody cares about. But, Corey cares.
Yes, Corey does care. But then
why are they like dating or something?
No, she's just really, basically to him, Mandy is a replacement for Eva Marie. So all the adulation and fondness you used to have for Eva Marie, he just transferred it over to Mandy Rose. He hasn't gotten to the point of telling Byron Saxton and Tom Phillips to shut up because Mandy Rose is talking, but it might come. But business picked up because at number 5, it was Lita.
Yes, my favorite ever in life. When I heard her music, I just started yelling like, "What? What?" Like it was like a Stone Cold promo. Just what? What? It was great. I watched that over and over. I kept going back. Like, no, we got to watch it again.
Lita with a great job of working the social medias and the internet crowd as she came out after the Raw 25 and said that, she was disappointed. She did not get an invite to be on the show. And, couldn't believe that they would have the Raw 25 and honor the women, and she was not a part of it. And so, good job keeping that a secret as she came in at number 5. She did eliminate Mandy Rose. Number 6 was Kari Sane, the winner of the Mae Young Classic.
Did she take Foxy's place? Or we don't know?
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's another bit of news. Alicia Fox could not participate in the Women's Royal Rumble because earlier in the day, or the day before, rather, she broke her tailbone.
How you break your tailbone?
They were doing something in the ring before the show, and she landed wrong and broke her tailbone.
I feel like that must hurt. Because it's not like you can put a cast on your tailbone. It just has to.
And what happened when you got to do a number 2? Ooh.
Jeez. Number 7 was Tamina and her Icy White Usos.
Oh, it says Mandy
was
Rose.
Awful.
Sorry.
No,
I read Mandy Rose replaced Alicia Fox.
Oh, okay.
Tamina's outfit was awful.
You didn't like the Icy White?
It did not fit correctly, and it was ugly.
Okay. Well, Lita eliminated Tamina.
Because her outfit was ugly.
So as we go on down, we get down.
She's going to an all-white party after the Royal Rumble, okay?
She wasn't going to get in with that outfit on. They'd have been like,
she had her heels in the back.
Board.
She had her heels in the car, okay?
You got to take the jacket off, maybe make the top into a crop top, then we'll talk about it. That was the worst.
Number 9, we had Tori Wilson.
Aww.
And Tori eliminated Dana Brooke. At number 12, we got Molly Holly.
Yeah.
She did a good job of working social media too.
She looked amazing.
She did.
Yes.
With her little short hair. She was so pretty.
Molly Holly's son apparently was like, I heard you're going to be in the Royal Rumble. And Molly Holly was like, apparently like tweeted at WWE like, are y'all bringing me in? I've heard about this. And they like kind of denied it or whatever. But again, using social media to work their fans. It's a new thing that WWE is doing. And these ladies played it up to a T.
Perfect.
At number 14, we got Michelle McCool. And Michelle McCool ran wild. She eliminated Sonya Deville. She eliminated Liv. And she eliminated Molly Holly and Lana.
Yeah, she definitely was performing like she was coming back to the ring sometimes.
Yeah, she did.
Number 16, somebody else who did a good job on social media of keeping us out of the loop. None other than, excuse me.
Oh, Vicky. I'm trying to figure out why she had those heels on. I'm like, hold up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to do nothing. She was getting right in that ring to get right back out.
Vicky ain't deserve that disrespect.
Like Dee said, she got right in and all the women tossed her right back out. So at number 17, Carmella comes down. She's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Vicky rips it away from her and knocks her out with her own briefcase.
Good.
So that was pretty good. At number 19, we got Kelly Kelly.
Oh my God. Botching moves left and right.
that head scissors, what it should have been, was awful.
Girl, Michelle McCool had to help her out.
She was like, what are we doing here?
It was like Undertaker and Roman Reigns all over again.
Terrible. But it's like, oh, you're pretty. That's good.
I never did watch when Kelly Kelly was active. I kind of stopped watching. That was around the time I walked away from WWE after
the only thing you would have thought was, oh, well, at least you're pretty.
That was that era where they were doing like all the pretty girls trying to make them all into Trish Stratus.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work.
Yep. Not at all. Nope. Mm-mm. But they tried.
At number 21, we got the person Sam was hoping, wishing, and praying for. So he might actually have something positive to say about the whole event.
Lillian Garcia?
None other than Miss Jackie.
Wow. Yes. I love me some Jacqueline. I was so happy to see her.
At number 22, Nia Jax came in. Nia tossed out Miss Jackie. She tossed out Kelly Kelly. She tossed out Riri Riot. Um, she tossed out Naomi, but all the ladies that Nia had previously eliminated caught Naomi and lifted her up on the barricade, so she was still in the match.
Not on purpose, more by habit.
2.0, like y'all said.
Yeah.
Number 23 was NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Iconic with the wrapped up arm.
Right. Naomi, she walked the barricade. She then got Maria Menounos to get out of her chair.
She said, "Move."
The rolling chair.
Maria trying to take selfies.
Right. So basically, she like put her feet in the seat of the chair and then walked with her hands to the ring steps, where she walked up the ring steps and basically got back in the match. She then got on the top rope, does a flying crossbody to Nia, who catches her and then throws her right back out.
Now she knew better than to do that. Like, why would you? You did all that. You got back in the ring. And you're like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fly. What? Put your feet on the ground, girl. But still, iconic Kofi moment. Naomi deserves.
Again, in another strange fit of irony, Dee Dee's number 24 turned out to be Beth Phoenix.
Yes, the
God got jokes. God got jokes. Out of all the women I don't like, here she go. And mind you, I was only one number off from the winner. So
you don't like Beth Phoenix?
I hate Beth Phoenix.
I feel like she got, at the time that she was in the WWE, she got the short end of the stick because she didn't have any competition.
It was just like she bored the shit out. I don't, you know what? Besides Trish Stratus, I don't like blondes anyway, as far as women go. And then I thought she was boring. And then I just didn't understand what her point was. And then I found out she married Edge. And it was like, oh no, she's canceled. Like, I don't like, it's all personal. It's totally personal. I'm fine with admitting it. But it's just like, no, I don't like her. And so I felt so bad. I was like, is it just me? Am I the only one who dislikes her? And it was just like, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, oh well.
Beth and Nia actually had a really cool stare down. Beth tried to pick Nia up once. It didn't happen, but she did kind of get her off her feet the second time. So that was a really cool looking spot. But Natalya, Beth Phoenix's best friend, eliminated her.
It be your own people.
It be your own people.
Number 25 was Asuka.
One off.
Came to kill everybody.
Asuka runs wild, and then Ember gets back in, and Ember and Asuka have a stare down. Asuka laughs at Ember, but then Ember hits the Eclipse.
Sure did.
With one arm.
With one arm. Like a thug.
But then Asuka attacked the bad arm, and that eliminated Ember Moon. Number 27 was Nikki Bella. Nikki eliminated Carmella.
She could have stayed in the back.
At number 28, we had Brie Bella.
She could have stayed in the back too. Like, don't you got some breastfeeding to do? Like, why are you out here?
These numbers are so random. How could they have known? Like, really? Really?
Number 29 was Bayley. Probably the most forgotten person in this whole thing.
Boring Bayley.
I mean, once 28 came up, I realized I haven't seen Bayley yet. I was like, oh, so she'll probably be next.
I forgot about Bayley till her music hit. I said, oh, yeah.
I didn't forget.
She is in the WWE.
Yeah, I was kind of doing math like, who else are we missing? And I was like, I haven't seen Bayley. And then she came out.
And then at number 30, the GOAT, Trish Stratus.
Once Bayley came out, I knew Trish was going to be next. Yeah. It was so obvious because it was, you look at it, it's like, okay, all the women that were at Raw 25 are in the Rumble right now.
Well, besides, what's her name? What is her name?
Who?
Goldust's wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll be in it next year.
That'd be fun. She looks like she's still in shape.
Trish and Mickey James have a little stare down, kind of going back to their WrestleMania match. And Trish ends up tossing out Mickey. Then Nia tosses out Trish, and then everybody gangs up on Nia and tosses her out.
Damn right.
I thought Sasha tossed out Trish.
No. Sasha did toss out Trish. Excuse me. Everybody ganged up and tossed out Nia. Right. Sasha. Then that's when Sasha tossed out Bailey. Excuse me.
Then everybody looked at her like she was wrong, and then Corey was like, "If you got a back, Sasha got a knife."
Ready for that.
Trish eliminated Natty. Then this is when Sasha cuts off the Bulldog and eliminates Trish. Then the Bella Twins eliminated Sasha after 54 minutes. Nikki hits Asuka with the TKO, and then Nikki eliminates Brie.
It be your own people.
People getting backstabbed left and right in the Rumble.
DTA.
Nikki told Brie to go back home and raise that baby.
Go home and be a family woman.
Nikki lays in forearms and then charges Asuka, but runs into a kick. Asuka pulls Nikki to the apron. Then Asuka kicks out Nikki's leg for the elimination, and Asuka was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble.
Yo, that
ain't
was
no way.
The way she won.
Hell, that Nikki and Brie should have been in the Final Four.
Really shouldn't have. However,
I guess when you're sleeping with the right people,
you know,
get what you want.
It's like nepotism, and so I ain't mad at it. Where I felt a knot in my stomach was I thought this would be like election day, and the wrong person would win. And so I was like, are they really gonna do that? I was like, they wouldn't do that, would they? And so when they were both on the ring post, I was like, oh shit, bad things are gonna happen. And then Asuka, with a well-timed kick, just pushed all my worries away. God bless her.
Thank God for Asuka.
So Asuka is now in the ring.
We don't have to talk about the rest.
Exactly.
We can really
end on a good note. We can just end right there.
Both champions come into the ring.
Is he not listening to us?
He don't listen. You see how men are.
They kind of both flank Asuka, so she's kind of in the middle. Alexa and Charlotte both hold up their titles. We think we're going to get Asuka's decision on who she's going to face when Ronda Rousey's music hits. Ronda comes down to the ring. She stares everybody down. She points to the WrestleMania sign. She wants a handshake. She wants to shake Asuka's hand. Asuka refuses. So Ronda then kind of walks around the ring, gets out of the ring. She makes her way around the ring. She then shakes Stephanie's hand. She walks, back up the ramp and points to the WrestleMania sign. And that's how we end the Royal Rumble.
So what happened on Raw?
It didn't happen.
Yeah, basically. So Raw.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay. So Ronda Rousey apparently has signed like this full-time contract now.
We didn't ask you about Ronda Rousey. We asked you about what happened on Raw.
I hate it, but he's being a professional. So
what happened is apparently she's doing this movie in Colombia, and so basically they like rushed her in for just this one segment right here.
She wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
So unnecessary.
So apparently this movie she doesn't stop filming this movie till like the middle of February. I don't know why they just
Wait. So Little Miss Bitch came to Royal Rumble to point at the WrestleMania sign.
And she's like a third grader.
Wait. Then everybody on the news goes, she signed a full-time contract. And then she's going to disappear for another 3-4 weeks?
Brock Lesnar.
Okay. All right.
But the movie was before the contract. So the movie was
then her
already...
ass didn't need to be at Royal Rumble. And she didn't even point at the sign for an event she hasn't fucking earned. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't
preach, Dee. Preach.
It's not your fault, Dom. But I said what I said, and I know you people listen. She don't deserve it.
So what you have to understand about the McMahons are...
We don't care.
They make bad life choices. I don't care what they say.
They crave the outside attention. So anything that is mainstream they care about that way more than the thing that they should be known for, which is the wrestling product. So, you know,
That's so fucking corny though. Like,
yeah, it does suck because what happens on Monday is Stephanie comes out to the ring. Stephanie says they're kicking off 25 more years of Raw and praises last night's Women's Royal Rumble. And then she brings out Asuka to try to like recreate her winning moment again.
Right. So they're trying to smooth things over now because they know the fallout, the backlash was.
but they
You
did
know.
the same shit with Ellsworth. Like, don't you remember how you did a thing that was supposed to be historic and first time ever, and you fucked it up trying to go for other shit? Like, why can't you just let Asuka sit in her win? Why can't you just announce Ronda on Monday? Who gives a shit?
Or when she finishes her movie.
Or when she finishes the movie, when she can actually dedicate a full-time schedule to this full-time job that she allegedly signed up for, that she clearly didn't probably practice for. But
That's why
it's
they wouldn't let her
okay
talk.
because Roddy Piper let her use his name, so it's all right. She got the
Just go
sign
out there and
off.
point at the sign and smile.
The
That's all
fuck?
you have to do.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, I was
Hate it
livid.
all. Like, if we're gonna do this, then I want the MMA bitch to fight her. Like, I want Shayna to fight her. That'd be interesting to me. Not her trying to be somebody at WrestleMania 2 days into her job. No, I don't like it.
So,
He pretty much summed up how I felt, so I don't really feel like I need to add anything.
yeah, the consensus across wrestling Twitter wasn't very favorable for this. The social medias was definitely like thumbs down. So,
And
Oh,
they
the
also
IWC
lied
was not
on Raw.
happy.
They also lied on Raw because when she came out, everybody was not hyped, but somehow they found all these people to be like, gasp, clutching my hair, clutching my
They
pearls.
were not clutching their hair for her.
Who
They were clutching their
knew?
hair for Trish Stratus and Lita.
Exactly. But that's okay.
And the
Power of the
hurricane.
TV and the hurricane.
There's a hurricane coming through.
so while they're in the ring, and Stephanie wants to kind of figure out who Asuka wants to face, she kind of throws it out there that Alexa Bliss might not be the champion at WrestleMania because she's going to have to defend her title in the first ever women's elimination chamber match.
Woo.
She'll probably find a way for somebody else to win that too.
Nia Jax, because they're the best friends ever in the whole world. They should have a festival of friendship.
I mean, but trust in WWE, it'll probably be somebody like, oh, I don't know, Shane McMahon who ends up winning. Like, they do dumb shit.
Wait, the women's elimination chamber?
Ellsworth won the Money in the Bank. Why not Shane? They do dumb shit like that all the time.
So Asuka cuts a promo in Japanese, and she says that she will be the champion at Mania because no one is ready for Asuka.
That's true.
But she's never picked the champion that she wanted to face. So Sasha Banks comes down. Sasha says that she made history last night, and she congratulates Asuka. Then Sasha claims to be ready for Asuka tonight, and Stephanie makes the match.
Sasha still sounds like she out of breath every time she cuts a promo.
I think she needs to get rid of her tonsils. I think that's what it is.
Okay. Did y'all like her Wonder Woman outfit at the Royal Rumble?
I thought it was adorable.
It was cute. Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because she ended up a loser. And, there's a certain section of America, not me necessarily, that considers Gal Gadot a loser because, Israeli and things. I'm not saying that's me. I'm just saying there's a through line if you look hard enough.
So we get Kane versus Braun Strowman in an elimination chamber qualifying.
Why is still doing this? Isn't he like
Why?
80? Like what?
Why? Isn't he supposed to be running for mayor of something?
Right. Does he need money for the running of the mayor? Is that
for his campaign?
Yeah, he needs to put money in his campaign coffers. Like what?
Like, how are you running for mayor and still beating people down week after week?
Well, I mean, it's not like he's beating people down.
Well, that's true.
It's showing that he's tough on crime.
Yeah, okay.
This is a last man standing match. So the two men, they brawl into the crowd and they brawl over into the take area. Braun Strowman attacks with chair shots as a commentary team runs away. Braun then topples the entire riser that and the announcer onto Kane and is declared the winner.
Damn right.
So Corey
Did
Graves
his job.
interviews Braun, and Braun says that he was just doing his job,
Right.
and he's the last man standing.
What's the
Speaking of
problem?
commentary, you forgot
Oh
to
yeah,
announce like the coach was
Oh
back.
yeah.
yeah.
Coach is back on commentary. Booker T has finally done the thing that we thought he was working towards the last few weeks, as he was kind of off the rails on commentary, like Booker T trying to get off the job. So yes, Booker. Well, I mean, think about it. He was just supposed to be a replacement for David Otunga because he went to go do that movie. It's only supposed to be for like 2 weeks. It ended up being like almost like a year. So Booker probably was like, man, I'm just a replacement. So he found a way to get off and get back to the pre-shows, which is
So
like,
Booker ain't trying to work every week. He's retired.
But who told them we wanted Coach back though?
I think they just made that decision on their own.
ESPN can't afford Coach no more, okay?
What is the WWE's obsession with corny black folk? Like, what is this?
Corny?
Yeah, but Jonathan is, and so is Byron, and so
I think the coach has grown.
he ain't corny no more. Is what you're trying to tell me?
He's matured. Maybe he's not
He's still corny. I've heard him on Raw. He corny. Byron corny. Otunga was corny. I'm sure there was another one. You know they like stereotypes. They're all corny. Why don't they get Darren Young?
They should. I think they released Darren Young.
He got released. When Summer got released.
Probably just loving up on his boyfriend. He can come back and do commentary. I don't like Coach. I don't know why though. I make these decisions and I don't remember the justification that I had.
Because he was corny, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, probably. But I like corny men. No, I don't like corny men. No, I don't.
So we see Braun walking in the back. Kurt Angle runs up on him and yells on him for what he did.
That's bold, don't you think?
Quite bold. Braun says that he should have done more, and he just made sure that he was the last man standing. And Braun said that he will win the Elimination Chamber, and then he will defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I believe it.
Our favorite, Elias, arrives, and he plays the tune.
Yes. Ready to walk.
What does WWE stand for?
Walk with Elias.
Now you're getting it. So we get Matt Hardy versus Elias, and this is also an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Matt starts to fight back, and he hits the elbow drop off the ropes, and he covers for a 2 count. Then Bray Wyatt music hits that distracts Matt Hardy, allowing Elias to get the drift away and get the pin on Matt Hardy for the win. Bray Wyatt then appears on the screen and does that maniacal laugh at Matt Hardy. So take a sip for the distraction finish.
I already did.
Then we have The Miz. He cuts a promo about his greatness in tonight's rematch versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title. So we go right into the match. Roman throws a Superman punch and gets covered for a 2 count. Axel and Bo Dallas, who were kicked out of the match, they return, and Reigns fights them both off. Roman lands a Superman punch to Axel and a spear to Bo Dallas, but that allows The Miz to roll up Roman, and The Miz gets the pin to retain the Intercontinental title. So take another sip for the distraction.
Can I just say, so my mom, she knows about Roman Reigns because she goes, every time you're watching wrestling and I'm around, he's always getting beat up. So when we went to see wrestling, he was getting beat up. She said, see, look, he had beat up again. So she was standing next to me when I was watching Raw, and it was right when The Miz had won, and she said, Roman Reigns, he just got beat up again, didn't he? And I said, you're going to stop disrespecting him like that, first of all. Yeah, she said, see, he always getting beat up. So, yeah, now to her, Roman Reigns, he's a punching bag.
We get the Revival versus Heath Slater and Rhino. Heath Slater manages a desperation neckbreaker and tags in Rhino. Rhino takes control. He hits the shoulder block off the ropes, but Rhino gets chop blocked and he gets caught with the Shatter Machine, and the Revival get the win. The Revival then cut an interview. They said that they've learned from the past, and then they've run down the fans for living in the past and chanting ECW. We get a video package that show the Dudley Boys are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Then we get a promo from the Balor Club putting over Finn's run in the Royal Rumble. And Balor says that he's looking for revenge against John Cena, who eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. Then we got the match of the night. Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Sasha's interviewed about tonight's match. She says that she's been waiting for the chance to beat Asuka, and she will make history tonight. Sasha hits the Meteor off the ropes and gets a really good near fall. Sasha fights off the Asuka lock, and then she locks in the bank statement. Asuka fights, but Sasha Banks rolls through. But Asuka counters the bank statement into the Asuka lock, and Sasha Banks taps out. Now, everybody will understand that saw this match. The really high spot of this match was when Sasha goes to do the suicide dive. They call it a suicide dive for a reason, and we almost saw why. Because Sasha's feet get clipped up on the middle rope, so of course she doesn't come all the way outside the ring, so she falls into the LED board while also being kicked in the face by Asuka. Wasn't pretty. Yeah, I thought she broke her neck. And
isn't that how Lita broke her neck doing a suicide dive on a movie set some years ago?
It was the match against Trish where they had the main event.
Yeah, she re-injured it.
Yeah. This was, and literally like 5 minutes before that happened, I literally tweeted in the live tweet, please don't get hurt, Sasha.
You know she's accident prone.
Yeah, so prone. And then, not to mention, after this, Asuka just started hitting her in the face with like all these open hand strikes, like really stiff. So yeah, if she didn't have a concussion, Asuka was trying to give her one.
Asuka don't play.
Yeah, this was a really good match. This was really good. For Raw, this was a fantastic match.
I agree.
Come on for Raw.
Next, we have Sheamus and Cesaro versus Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, Dana Brooke, in a tag team title match.
Raw is just so long. I sure thought you were about to say the main event, like John and Finn. Dang, it's more.
Cesaro makes a blind tag and hits the high cross, but Crews rolls through and gets a 2 count. Apollo Crews gets ran into the post, and then Sheamus and Cesaro hit the double team white noise, and the champions retain the title. Oh man, for a split second there, I thought Titus Worldwide was gonna get the championship.
Hey, they have been on a roll the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so then we get the Ronda Rousey video package from Royal Rumble, and now Jade, we finally move into the main event. Where we have John Cena versus Finn Balor in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Finn hits a shotgun dropkick, but he misses the double stomp. Then Finn favors his knee. Cena locks in the STF. Finn makes the ropes, and then Finn follows with the Enziguri and heads up top, but John Cena cuts him off, hits the AA off the second rope, and John Cena gets the win.
Boo. So disrespectful.
So now Elias, Braun Strowman, and John Cena have all qualified for the Elimination Chamber.
I'm sad that John Cena is in the Elimination Chamber. I'm happy because it seems like he's there so Elias can hurt him.
I really enjoyed this episode of Raw. It had a lot of wrestling on it.
It did have a lot of wrestling, but when you're thinking about it and recapping, it just sounds like it was a really, really long episode. Because I know there are days when I watch WWE, when I watch Raw, and it feels like it's been on for 4 hours and it's only been 45 minutes. And I'm like, jeez, this is a long episode. But
yeah, I think when they have a lot of the talking and a lot of the backstage, that does kind of make it drag more than when they put on matches that, capture your interest and your attention. So
I will say this though, just kind of going back to the women's Royal Rumble, it was so one, it was great to see like, the women of the new and the women of, that kind of set the tone, that paved the way, wrestling with each other in the same ring. But it also showed like how much women's wrestling has definitely evolved over the years. So that was pretty cool to see.
oh yeah, for sure. And what was cool also is that it was clear that each and every one of those legends, they all said they wanted to do something with Sasha Banks.
Mm.
She did not get eliminated until after Trish got eliminated, and she was the last legend that came out. And
she
then,
touched every legend and before she got eliminated.
yeah, she took every finisher move from every legend. I think in that match, she took the Twist of Fate, she took the Stratisfaction, she took whatever that Molly Holly move was.
Oh, the Molly go around.
Yeah, the Molly go around. Yeah, so I mean, she had interaction with each and every legend. So it definitely told me that everybody was like, "I want to do something with Sasha. I want to do something with Sasha."
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that she was just over the moon. So at this point in time, just want to let everybody know that this episode of the WrassleCast is being brought to you by Amazon.com. Valentine's Day is rapidly approaching, so please go to cspn.us, click on the banner that says support the podcast, and keep the podcast free by clicking on Amazon.com. Do your shopping for that Valentine's Day gift for your significant other and help keep the podcast free here at the WrassleCast. So again, that's cspn.us and Amazon.com. Do it today. Didi Jonay, I will now give you the floor to talk about this week's SmackDown Matters.
All right, I will try to make it quick because nobody really cares. They're still in Philadelphia. Shinsuke comes out to start the show. They go over. He recaps his Rumble win, letting him know that Sammy, John Cena, and Roman Reigns all received a knee to the face. If you recall, his strategy for winning the Rumble was, I see a face, I put my knee in it. So a lot of people doubted his theory. I thought it was a sound one, and he ended up being a winner.
I think they have a T-shirt.
Knee to the face.
I think I need it. I might have to spend money on that when I have a free paycheck, because yes. Nakamura says AJ is going to get a knee to the face at WrestleMania, and we would get a new WWE champion. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn interrupt. They sarcastically congratulate him. After they recap what happened, Owens says that they deserve another shot and that Nakamura will be facing them at Mania. Nakamura says AJ is a winner. Owens and Sammy are losers. And it's so funny because of his accent and his drawl, but he's still very clear. AJ comes out next. He says they're going to get the dream match in New Orleans between him and Nakamura. But tonight he wants to do a dream team with Nakamura against Kevin and Sammy. Crowd chants yes. Owens and Zayn leave the ring, but they pop back on the apron just to say nope.
Are they trying to like be the new version of Lay Cool?
Maybe. I'm not mad at it. But they're knocked down by AJ and Nakamura. Next match, first match of the night is Rusev with Aiden English with him. Oh, it's a fatal 4-way. So Rusev, Kofi, Jinder, and Zack Ryder. Everybody has people with them except for Zachy. You should. Anyway. The backstage, they cut to backstage, and Daniel Bryan officially makes the match for Owens and Sammy, otherwise known as Cammy, versus AJ and Nakamura. So what he does is, because Kevin and Sammy are complaining about getting screwed, Bryan gives them a shot next week. He says they can face each other, and that winner will face AJ at Fastlane. So, now, back to the match. Kofi hits a crazy backward dive onto Jinder and Zack. Rusev hops up and down like he's about to do a dive, but Sunil Singh grabs his leg. Aiden pushes Sunil into Big E, which makes Big E drop his pancakes. We don't like that. This leads to a chaotic scene, and this chaotic scene leads to the referee tossing everyone from ringside. Back in the ring, Ryder gives Mahal a rough rider. Rusev super kicks Ryder, and then counters a Trouble in Paradise into an accolade for the submission win. So then Rusev faces off with Bobby Roode, who was on commentary, and he's like, "What? What you looking at?" It's very cute. So there's going to be a title match next week. The Usos cut a promo backstage. Y'all are into it?
Oh, that promo was the bumper thing when they were like coming like stay tuned because the Usos coming up next. Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah, I thought you might like that. Like, damn. So then there's a Fashion Files segment with Breezango and Ascension quickly interrupted by Chad and Shelton. Gable was embarrassed by the existence of Breezango, and Benjamin was surprised that the Fashion Files is still a thing. They say that Breezango couldn't beat them in a match, and then they flip over a table.
They're so disrespectful.
That
They're
is
taking out their frustration with the Usos on the Fashion
so
Files.
nasty and so rude. I agree.
They
So
had like $3,000 worth of Apple computers on that laptop too. And Nigga was like, "That was my mama's computer though."
Because of course it was. The Usos come down to the ring for the rest of the promo. They run down every team that they've locked down, and then the jail cell door goes clink clink. The Usos talk about their struggles and going through them. They welcome everyone to the Uso Penitentiary. Before they leave, the Bludgeon Brothers come for their match. So they watch Harper and Rowan pass by them, but Harper and Rowan ignore them. So the Bludgeon Brothers were facing local competitors ×2. It was a quick win. It's not a big deal. There's a top 10 SmackDown list. The rules are that he and Shane will not get a vote. The wrestlers can vote, but not for themselves. Talent, leadership, and athletic skill are all be considered, and these results are going to help him and Shane determine future matches. I don't quite understand, but sure. I guess this is to replace the fact that they're not going to do like a draft, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point. Elsewhere,
Sounds like a Vince McMahon idea.
Yeah, it just sounds like a shenanigan, but sure, whatever. Elsewhere, Ty approaches Shane. He talks about what happened at the Rumble, where Kevin beat him up and stole his spot. Well, Kevin beat him up and then Sammy stole his spot. Whatever. Anyway, so then Baron Corbin interrupts. He says he's not happy about Daniel giving Kevin and Sammy another opportunity. Shane says he's not happy about it either. And
I'm not happy about Baron Corbin's hairline, but
I mean, most people aren't. So Corbin's like, what are you going to do about it? Ty makes a crack about Corbin losing his money in the bank contract. Never gets old. Baron Corbin's in his feelings, so Shane puts them in a match. Next, Charlotte comes down for a promo. They show Ronda. Nobody cares. Renee asked Charlotte about the Rumble. She says that was the first time she's ever wanted to not be the champion, just so she could be in the Rumble match. And she's like, obviously, I would have won, just like someone else she knows who did, aka her daddy. She talks about the moment that broke the internet. I don't want to talk about it. Before she says anything else, the Riot Squad interrupts. Ruby mocks Charlotte, calls her a Ric Flair ripoff, whereas she is an original. She is very much like Paige, and why wouldn't Ric Flair's daughter be like him? So anyway, so whatever. The Riot Squad attacks Charlotte. She's able to fight them off because she's bigger than all of them. But, you know, the numbers game gets to her, and Riot lays her out with a Riot kick. Carmella runs down with her Money in the Bank contract and a referee because, you know, Charlotte's laid out in the ring, and it might be smart. As the referee calls for the timekeeper, Carmella goes for the drop kick. Charlotte moves and she hits the referee by mistake. Therefore, the match never starts. And Charlotte gets to her feet, so Carmella bails and is like, never mind. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Has she held that for a year yet?
Not a year, because Money in the Bank isn't up yet, but it's getting there.
I thought that this was the best thing on this whole entire episode.
Really?
Oh, this was so funny to me because, like, I'm sitting there and my first thought is when Charlotte's getting beat up, I'm like, where Naomi and them at?
Oh,
Right?
They come
That
help
was
him.
my first thought. And then all of a sudden, when Carmella starts running out, like, oh shit, yeah. This is a good spot for it. And then, of course, like the plan was solid, the execution was just slightly off.
Per usual, So anyway, AJ approaches Nakamura backstage to talk about the strategeries involved. And Nakamura's like, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And he's just like, I'm trying to talk to you about tonight. He's like, but I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And he's like, are you messing with me? And he's like, yeah, basically I am. And he says, we'll be fine. Listen to me out there. And AJ's just looking a little confused, like, what just happened? It was fun. So then Carmella does an interview with Renee where she says she did exactly what she planned to with her almost not quite cash in. She said that she broke a nail and she doesn't want to cash in the contract with the broken nail. So next, Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger. Baron wins with an end of days. I have notes that say this is only Ty's 7th match on TV or pay-per-view since September, which is very sad. But anyway, Rusev and Aiden do a promo with the selfie stick. Rusev calls Bobby Roode Bob Roode. Bobby responds with a selfie promo of his own. He writes glorious over the words Rusev Day on a calendar. In the locker room, Sammy tries to find a silver lining. He's like, well, one of us will get a title shot. It's great. And he's like, yeah, that's true. Unless you fail. And then he
They're
brings
so dejected. I love what they've done with them
I
together.
want
It's so fun.
I want Cammy happy, and they're not happy. Sammy brings up Kevin getting pinned by AJ, and Owens is like, "Remember how you lasted only about 5 minutes in the Royal Rumble?" And he says he won't fail tonight because he has Owens in his corner, and in the shadiest way possible, in so many words, Owens says Sammy won't fail tonight. Like, child, that dot was like do you want to fight? That was what was in that dot, but that's just me. I have anger issues. So next, Chad Gable and Shelty Benjamin versus Breezango.
You call him
Shelty,
Shelty?
I do. Shelty and Chad. I love a nickname. You know, Shelty and Chad win with the power bomb flying clothesline combo. Uh, Next, your final match of the night: AJ and Shinsuke versus Kevin Cammy. I'm gonna start using the words Cammy. Now Sammy tries to interfere. Nakamura tosses him from the ring. Owens clotheslines Nakamura and goes for a tag, but Sammy's not on the apron. The two of them are arguing, which leaves Sammy mad because he's like annoyed that Kevin is questioning him. So Sammy asks Kevin how well he would do without his guardian angel. After the break, Owens has AJ in a headlock as Sammy is watching from the stage. AJ comes back with some strikes, a clothesline, and a sliding forearm. He hits a face buster. Sammy flies in to break the cover. Owens hesitates but tags in Sammy. Sammy has AJ in a headlock, and Owens is screaming at him to tag him back in. He hesitates but does it. Owens hits a senton. Sammy puts his hand out for a tag. Owens slaps him in the chest. And then Sammy smacks Owens to tag him back in. AJ pushes Kevin into Sammy. And then Sammy falls off the apron. And Sammy's like, oh, really? And he walks away. And Styles like, where are you going? But he got to get back to the match. So he tries to give a forearm to Kevin. No. AJ tries to give a forearm to Kevin, but he fights back, gives him a gut buster and a diving elbow for 2. AJ comes back with a Pele kick, hits a hot tag to Nakamura. Nakamura hits some kicks and he tries for the Kinshasa, but Kevin escapes from the ring. AJ throws him back in. Nakamura gives him the Kinshasa for the win. Sammy was watching, and he was watching from the monitor. Renee comes up to him and says, is this the end for him and Kevin? Sammy says, no. So there's still hope for Cammy. He says this isn't about friendship, it's about opportunity. AKA, this is his Sasha Bailey, Nikki Brie, Beth, Natalia moment. This is about opportunities. He says Owens has had plenty of opportunities, but he hasn't. He's been known as Kevin's best friend, but soon he'll be known as the guy who beat Kevin Owens, who beat AJ Styles, and who became WWE champion. As the show ends, Nakamura and AJ are in the ring posing. That's it.
All right. At the conclusion of SmackDown, of course, they had this week's mixed match challenge match, and it was Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch, aka the Ginger Snaps,
Ginger Snaps.
versus Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman, Team Little Big.
Aww.
Basically,
is a much better name.
Basically, Sami Zayn was doing everything in his power not to get into the match because he basically knew that, you know, Braun was going to kill him. And so that's basically what happened. And then the end came where Alexa Bliss got on Braun's shoulders and did the sparkle splash off of Braun Strowman's shoulders. And then they did a promo at the end of the match where Braun Strowman was like, Alexa Bliss is, you know, she may be tiny in stature, but she's as tall as I am with confidence and, you know, swag. And I think she's kind of cute. And then Alexa's like, well, you know what, Braun? I think you're kind of cute too. And we're going to go all the way to the finals and win the match. So, yeah. So I think those two might actually win it. But we got to see what happens with Nia and Apollo Crews, though. We got to see how they they're.
Ain't no way they're gonna let Asuka lose the mixed match challenge.
Oh, I forgot she was in that. It was Miz. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out at the end, because those three teams are definitely the favorite. So we'll move into our last review, NXT, following the takeover. These events were also done the night of takeover. They were basically the dark matches to the takeover event. So we had Lacey Evans versus Nikki Cross. Nikki explodes out with some forearms and takes Evans down with some mounted punches. Nikki then screams and hits the swinging neck breaker to get the win. They show an interview with Shayna Baszler after her match with Ember to explain her actions. Shayna says the match winner she hoped because Ember didn't beat her, she survived. But
if she didn't, you know what? I ain't never mind.
The Undisputed Era are shown limping backstage after their match. They were pissed at Sanity. This is after the Extreme Rules match. They were pissed at Sanity for what they did. Next week, Sanity gets their tag team title rematch against Fish and O'Reilly. The Velveteen Dream was interviewed about not defeating Ono in 30 seconds or less and whether or not he underestimated Ono. Velveteen Dream says he knows what he said, but in the end, the NXT universe knows something too. He says he asked Kayla to read his trunks, and of course, they say, dream over. The Ely brothers versus TM61. Thorne hits a leg lariat and cannonball in the corner. He is decided to suplex and he tags in Miller. Miller hits a moonsault, but the pin is broken up. One of the Ely brothers is drop kicked over the top rope, leaving the other one to get hit with the Thunder Valley for the finish. TM61 are interviewed. Nick Miller explains that they are more than TM61 now. They are the mighty, and the mighty don't kneel. So, yeah, that was their original name when they were like the hottest tag team in the world like 2.5 years ago. And they came to NXT and they changed their name, but now they're giving them their name back. So that's pretty cool.
So they're the mighty?
They're the mighty don't kneel. It's a TMDK was what they go by. And that's what it stood for. The mighty don't kneel.
Okay.
We get Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. They were interviewed by Kathy Kelly about their whirlwind 24 hours. Vega says that this was her plan. She was out to show everyone who the real Andrade is. Almas called it a dream weekend and said that this was just the beginning. Then we get some news about EC3's return to NXT. And then we get our main event, Roderick Strong versus Tyler Bate in a #1 contenders match for the UK title. Tyler Bate's back gives out, so he can't use the Tyler Driver 97. Tyler Bate reverses the Stronghold into a pin and only gets a 2 count. Then Roderick Strong hits a leaping knee. He adds another leaping knee and he slant to the face of Tyler Bate. Then Roderick Strong lands the end of Heartache and he wins to earn the title shot versus Pete Dunne. So it looks like the UK guys are going to be implemented into NXT a little bit more this year. And that's only going to be a positive because all of those guys can go. So it'll be definitely a lot of fun if, Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne should be a pretty cool match. Roderick Strong with all the backbreakers, Pete Dunne with just the British strong style. So looking forward to that. So that should be pretty cool in a couple of weeks. Just not much of an episode of NXT, just to, kind of after the big takeover event, just kind of some dark matches. So not much really stood out except for that main event. So that was NXT. So at this point, we're going to open it up to Miss Jade to the Max for her shout outs and thank yous.
Thanks guys for having me on again. And shout out to Dee Dee for expressing my sentiments about Ronda Rousey. I didn't even need to say anything. Dee Dee knows me, a woman after my own heart. And thanks, Don, for having me. I would say thanks for inviting me, but I kind of invited myself on the show this time. So, yeah. Shout out to our whole WrassleCast family. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jade, for making the booking of this week's episode very. Didn't have to do any work.
I'm not even a guest anymore. I just show up uninvited. I'm that cousin now. Just show up when I feel like it.
You're always welcome here at the WrassleCast, Jade. You know that. Miss Dee Dee Jonay, your shout out.
Shout out to Sam, Greg, the chairman, Mel, because Mel always gives shout outs. You, because you're still the best producer in the business. Jade for coming and talking. Everybody who used the WrassleCast hashtag, RawCast, SmackDown Matters. Say no to pre-shows. I forget the one for Takeover.
Cast Takeover.
All of those from over the weekend through Tuesday. Cause y'all make it fun. I used to talking to the air about wrestling, and years later now I have a whole family of folk that we can talk about this with. It's amazing. Also shout out to the El Dandies. Voting happens either now or soon. Since this is a family show, almost everybody is nominated. So so make sure you go and check the Twitter so you can vote and pick your fave. I'm not biased. So please go ahead and pick your fave. I'm a little biased, but impartial.
And vote for me.
Listen,
we can talk about it. Talk about it in production booth.
Well, yeah, that's all my shout outs.
All right. I'd like to thank again our guest, Jade to the Max, my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Dee Dee Jonay. I'd like to give a shout out to Sam and Greg. Shout out to the chairman. Shout out to Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs. Give a shout out to everybody here on the CSPN, all the podcasters, all the shows. Give a shout out to the Globe and everybody, like Dee Dee said, who joined us this weekend for all the hashtags. Give a shout out to the Cast of Strong Style family too, because we had some live tweets going on this weekend as well. If you want to see some pretty good matches from Japan this weekend, check out the What We Are Watching hashtag. I put out the Minoru Suzuki versus Tanahashi Intercontinental title match, the Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K Junior Tag Team title match, and Kenny Omega versus Jay White that has a pretty good angle at the end of it. So if you guys are interested in seeing some cool things from New Japan, check out the What We Are Watching hashtag. Like Didi Jonet said, currently voting for the L Dandies is up on Twitter. We have Promotion of the Year, Babyface and Heel of the Year for the men and the women, Tag Team of the Year, Angle of the Year, and Guest of the Year. So please go use the official Twitter account, vote. You can get to the polls by doing a search of the hashtag LDandies2017. That's hashtag ELDANDYS 2017. And then that'll take you to the polls where you can vote. And they'll be up for a week. And then we'll have a special episode where we will award the L Dandies. So, yeah, please vote. There's been some campaigning going on for Guest of the Year. That seems to be the most prestigious award. Everybody wants to be known as the best guest here on the WrassleCast. So that's pretty cool. I didn't expect that to happen, but it's kind of taken over Twitter this afternoon. So
I don't care if I win or not. Even if I don't win, I'm gonna just pull a UCF and say I'm the champ anyway.
hang your own banner.
I sure am. Have a parade too.
So please, for the next week, please vote for the L Dandies. And tell us who you think are the best promotion and heel and babyface and tag team and all those things from 2017. So for our special guest, Miss J to the Max, my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonet, I'm Don Delarente, and this has been episode 170 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.